VE1 VON, VE1 VON, VE1 JBL. You on frequency there, Yvonne?
Hey, V1 JBL, VE1 VON. Yep, just about to start the net there, Jim. Thanks.
Okay, very good, Yvonne. Just in case you had forgot, I just want to make sure in case I had to take over there. We'll be standing by.
Okay, Jim, thanks. Hey, calling all station to the Maritime Fusion net. Calling all station to the Maritime Fusion net. Maritime Fusion net meets every Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. Atlantic time, on the Maritime Fusion link. The net controller this evening is Victor Echo 1, Victor Oscar November, and Maurice Yvon, and we'll be controlling the net out of Dieppe, New Brunswick. So before we get going this evening, what we're going to do is we're going to call each net or each province in sequence, just to try and get things organized a bit, and then we'll just go around. Before we get going, is there any emergency or priority for the Maritime Fusion net VE1 VON? Standing by for emergency or priority traffic. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion net. Before we get started, we just went that. Bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue au réseau de Fusion Maritime. This net meets each Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. McLean time, on CQ Maritime Room of 60207. The net is open to all radio amateurs in the Maritime Province and is scheduled for 1 hour. Ce réseau se tient tous les mercredis soirs à 17h, heure de l'Atlantique, dans la chambre de CQ Maritime 60207. Ce réseau est ouvert à tous les amateurs de la province maritime et c'est donné pour une période de 1 heure. Amateurs will be called by province. When you check in, give us your call signs using the proper phonetics. After all maritime stations are called in, we'll give a chance to outside stations to take part into this net as well. Les stations vont être appelées par province quand vous allez appeler, s'il vous plaît, donner votre lettre d'appel en phonétique après que toutes les stations des provinces maritimes auront participé au réseau. Les stations hors des provinces auront la chance de participer aussi. A reminder that due to delay in the system, key up for 1 second or 2 before transmitting and key for the PTT on for a second or 2 after your transmission has finished to give all the systems a chance to link together, since we are several repeaters or nodes on the air at the same time. Rappel que du délai du système, n'oubliez pas d'activer la transmission et d'attendre 1 seconde ou 2 avant de parler et 1 seconde ou 2 après votre transmission est terminée. First of all, do we have any announcements for the net this evening? VE1 VON, standing by for announcements. Hey, we're going to get things going this evening with PEI. We're looking for PEI stations. VE1 VON, we're standing by for PEI station. Les stations de l'île du Prince-Édouard. VE1 VON à l'écoute pour les stations de l'île du Prince-Édouard. Victor Yankee 2, Juliet Charlie. Victor Yankee 2 Hotel Foxtrot. Okay, we're going to get things going with Victor Yankee 2, Juliet Charlie. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion net. Good. Yeah, okay. Gee, I forget your call sign, Yvonne. That's, I guess I don't need to remember yours. VE1 VOA in there. I see it now. VY2 Juliet Charlie. I may be breaking up a little bit here. I'm not sure. Hopefully not. We are listening to the net tonight on the computer here. and we're checking in to the Maritime Fusion net through the VY2JOE repeater located on the western end of the mud flap, I call it, the sandbar here. And I just wanted to say hats off to the West Cumberland Club guys there, especially two fellows, Robert and Jim there. They're doing a great job here, getting it on the air, and I'm going to be listening to the whole thing with it very, very interest here, and watching it as well on two screens. I have my own dashboard here, but I'm also watching it on the internet. So there you go. Thanks for doing the net, Yvonne, and sounding good here. Maybe a quick comment if I'm breaking up or not, and then you can carry on. 7-3 to all. Take care, and God bless. Victor Yankee 2, Juliet, Charlie Western, PEI, over. Hey, Victor Yankee 2, Juliet, Charlie, Mr. Joe, you're coming in nice and clear. No problem. Nothing was cutting out, so you're really doing a fine job. Nice and clear. Okay, so next on the list is VY2HF. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please. Yeah, VON, Yvon, bonsoir, VY2HF in Stratford, Île de Prince-Édouard. Merci pour appeler notre province premier ce soir. It was a bit of a shock. Anyway, nice to be on quickly and early, and I will be listening to the net. I'm also monitoring on YouTube as well, thanks to Rob's feed there. So, very nice evening, and looking forward to hearing everyone else checking in and engaging in the chat as well here with Derek and a few others. So it's a lot of fun using both modes of communication here at one time. Merci, bonsoir encore, and talk to you later. Thanks, Yvon. VY2HF in Stratford. VY2HF, VE1V1 returning. Very best. Thank you much for checking in, my friend. It's always nice to start with a different province every once in a while. So it's all good. Thank you for checking in there, and we'll talk to you in a little bit. Okay, so next on the list is New Brunswick Station, Station du Nouveau-Brunswick. So we're now looking for New Brunswick stations, les stations de la province du Nouveau-Brunswick. If you haven't had a chance to check in tonight, this is the Maritime Fusion Net, and we're now standing by for New Brunswick Station, Station du Nouveau-Brunswick. Allez-y, please.
Victor Echo 9, Alpha Delta Victor.
Golf Foxtrot.
Victor Echo 9er, Foxtrot Charlie Papa.
Victor Echo 9, Alpha India.
Victor Echo 1, Juliet Papa Romeo.
Victor Echo 9, Golf Sierra Bravo.
Victor Echo 9, Papa India, November V91. Victor Echo 9, Delta Whiskey Juliet. 9, Victor India Charlie.
Ok, we're going to pause here. On va juste pause là. We're going to get things going with V9 Alpha Delta Victor. Mr. JP, good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Good.
VE1, VON, this is VE9 ADV, JP here in Dieppe. Good evening Yvon, bonsoir Yvon, c'est le fun de t'entendre animer le réseau ce soir. Thanks for doing the net tonight, and I'd like to say hello to everybody in the CQ Maritimes room. It's nice to see the Moncton repeater back online in the CQ Maritimes room. It was very much fun. Anyways, I'm glad you're net, and I'll be listening here on the side. Just want to give you another beat for the pot there for this net. Back to you, Yvon, from Victor Echo 9 Alpha Delta Victor 73 to everybody.
V9 Alpha Delta Victor, VE1 V1 returning very well. Thank you much, JP. Always a pleasure to hear you. Next on the list is Mr. Lighthouse himself, Mr. George, VY2 Golf Foxtrot. Good evening, George. How are you this evening? Go ahead for the Maritime Fusion. And V3Yankee2 Golf Foxtrot. Mr. George, you're next on the list. If you want to check in, go ahead, please.
I'm not sure, Yvonne. I thought I was right after JP, but VE9GCS.
Foxtrot Yankee Charlie, sorry. Foxtrot Charlie Papa. Good evening, Francis. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
VE1 VON for the Maritime Fusion Net from VE9 FCP in Bathurst. Good evening, Yvonne, and good evening to everyone on the Maritime Fusion Net this evening. Great to hear everyone out there, and it's also quite interesting following along here on YouTube. A big thanks goes out to Robert for putting that together. Definitely interesting to see that in there. Other than that, Yvonne, cold weather, no use complaining about it. We're Maritimers. We're tough, I think. Anyway, no other traffic. I won't tie it up. I know you got a good crew in here tonight, so we'll say 7-3. Wish everyone a great week ahead. 7-3 all around. VE1 VON from VE9 FCP in Bathurst coming through the VE9 VAP repeater.
Foxtrot Charlie Papa, Mr. Francis Fairbass. Thank you much for checking in. Pleasure to hear you there, Francis. Next on the list is Mr. Paul, VE9 Papa Alpha Lima. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, V1 VON. This is V9PL. Bonjour. From Irish Town here. Yeah, it's -8 down here. Boise is getting cool. But, you know, March is coming up next month, so, you know, that means spring is not too far. But anyway, you guys all have a great and safe week. Take care of yourselves. V9PAL.
And V9PAL, Mr. Paul Verbes. Thank you much for checking in, Paul. Pleasure to hear you there. Next on the list is VE1 JPR. I believe it's Pat. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Yvonne, and everybody on the net. And yes, it is Pat. Working from home again this week. I think maybe things are getting a little bit safer out there. May hit the road next week, and of course, gotta be. You still have to stay careful and stay safe. So we're getting a little bit of a cold snap, obviously. A little earthquake off the coast of Nova Scotia near Yarmouth there sometime. I think it was either today or yesterday, but nothing too serious. But anyway, just all kinds of different news to pick up and read, and hope everybody is staying safe and warm and cozy at home. So just going to give you another number for the net, and thanks for taking the time, Yvonne, to cherish us with the opportunity to get in and say hello. So 7-3 to all. VE1, I think it's VE1 VON, VE1 JPR on the net.
Hey, VE1 JPR, Mr. Pat, very best Pat. Thank you much for checking in. Yeah, no, you got it right. We're one of those. I'm just like you. I kept my VE1, so no worries. Thank you, Pat. Always a pleasure to hear you there. It's nice to have you on board there in the Fusion wagon. It's always nice. We got quite a few people on the go nowadays. Considering this net has only been going on for 1 year, It's one of the most successful net we have in the Maritime, so it's all good. Okay, so next on the list is Wayne, I believe, V9 Whiskey Charlie Lima. Good evening, Wayne. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net, and go ahead, please.
This is Wayne, Victor Echo 9, Whiskey Charlie Lima. I don't have any traffic. Got nothing to say except it's cold. It's -8 here in Shediac. And I want to say 7-3 to all the amateur radio that can hear me. And I'll be monitoring the frequency. This is Victor Echo 9, Whiskey Charlie Lima.
Hey, Victor Echo 9 Whiskey Charlie Lima, Mr. Wayne. Very best. Thank you much, Wayne. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate that. Coming in nice and clear. Next on the list is Mr. Gary, VE9 Golf Sierra Bravo. Good evening, Gary. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net, and go ahead, please.
Good evening, Yvonne. My note is connected, but I'm on VE1 VAL. I was getting a pretty good reception on it, so I decided to use a repeater. Anyway, good evening all on Maritime, CQ Maritime's net tonight. And thanks, Rob, for live streaming it. I know there's a couple non-fusion users that are paying attention and getting an idea how it works and everything, so that's good. Good for them. And Mike, MTV, if you're listening tonight, if I were you, I'd go ahead with that slot cube antenna, even for the 2-meter version, because it's a 3/4 wave on 440, so it should resonate pretty good. It'd be worth a try. Can't go wrong with it anyway. Back to you, Yvonne. 7-3 of the E9 Golf Sierra Bravo, Gary in Musquash, New Brunswick.
Hey, V9 Golf Sierra Bravo, Mr. Gary from Musquash. Mr. Musquash. Very best, Gary. Thank you much for checking in. Next on the list is diagonally from where I'm at, Mr. Burt himself, the mayor of Edmundston. V9 Papa India November. Mr. Burt, good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, everyone. It might be a long time before I become mayor of Edmundston, but we lost one there last week or the week before, and I know another one was sick there, but I don't know if don't think that he passed yet. Anyway, I just got a beep from my cell phone there, the ISS. Anybody who's down Nova Scotia way or probably St. John, Fredericton, depends where you are. ISS are going to make contact probably 15 minutes. I'm just trying to see where it is now with 2 middle school in Virginia, Sterling Middle School. I think it's Virginia. Anyway, they're going to conduct that tonight. I think when it started there, it was at 21 minutes, probably at 15 minutes now. So probably or maybe the people in Nova Scotia will be able to hear them because they're over the ocean or the sea or the Atlantic or whatever. Anyway, not much to report besides that. Minus, it was in the minus this morning. Natalie said that the tires on the car were running sort of square when she got out of the parking lot here at the house. So good centuries to all. Have a pleasant evening and a good week.
Hey, VNIPIN, Mr. Burt, very best, Burt. Thank you much for checking in. Yeah, I know what you mean. We're driving along this morning there early, and you felt like you were driving the Flintstone mobile there down the street for a bit. The tires were a tad bit square. And if you're going out there to have a peek at the space station, you might want to put an extra jacket over to whatever you're wearing because it's so cold out there. Okay, so with that, we're going to go again with David, VE9 Delta Whiskey Juliet. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
VE1 VON, VE9 DWJ. You're doing a great job, Vaughn, and thanks for calling me. And I don't know whether you noticed or not, but Pravin was trying to get in. It's VE9 PKV. So just haven't heard his number called yet, but I saw it flash across the screen here. Anyway, it's cold in Sackville too, and can't do anything about it. Everybody stay safe. VE9 DWJ.
Hey, V9 Delta Whiskey Juliet, VE1 VON returning for the Maritime Fusion Net. Very good, David. Thank you much for checking in, and thank you for adding their Parva. Put him in the queue. Next on the list is VE9 Victor India Charlie. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Ivo. No traffic here, just 732 all. Name is Reno, Romeo, and November, Oscar.
And V9 Victor India Charlie, Mr. Reno. Good evening. Thank you much for checking in. I appreciate you taking that. You're about, 272 kilometers from my destination. So you didn't break the record. Bert had that at 315. That's the fun part with digital. We know where you're at. Gives you a little arrow on your screen. Tells you that this person is this far, this direction. And so you're pretty close to the record breaker, but Bert got it this evening so far. Okay, so we're going to go and swing back to see if George from PEI is around. VY2 Golf Foxtrot. George, are you around for check-in? VE1 VON for the Maritime Fusion Net.
Ivan, that might have been me. I thought I was after JP ADV, VE9 GCS, but I guess I got stepped on.
It most likely was you there, Ross. Thank you. VE9 Golf Charlie Sierra, Mr. Grilled Cheese Sandwich himself. Good evening, Ross. Welcome, and check in if you want.
Yes, sir. Merci, bonsoir, Ivan, and no traffic. Just to check in, sitting back monitoring, and I put the other radio on 145-800 to see if I can hear the International Space Station. Of all the QSL cards I got here in the shack, the two I've gotten from the ISS, the space station, are probably my favorites. Good net, Ivan. Thanks for coming in. Best of 7-3 to everybody. VE9 GCS. Ross here in DM.
And GCS, VE1 VON returning very best, Ross. Thank you much for checking in. Keep an eye for the space station. Yeah, I can imagine. It's probably one of those rare stations, kind of like our trophy. If you can get that one, you're in good shape from a QSL card perspective. So congratulations, they got it twice. They're hard to get because they're only doing like school contacts and stuff like that nowadays. So it's harder and harder to get those. So keep it in a nice, safe place. Next on the list is Mr. Parva, VE9 Papa Kilo Victor. You're around, Parva, to check into the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
VE1 VON. This is Victor Echo 9, Papa Kilo Victor. Thank you very much for checking me in. And thank you very much for David also, VE9 DWJ, for sort of pointing out to you that I was trying to get in but could not succeed. So thank you very much for checking me in. No traffic, 73 to all, and a big thanks to David also. 73.
V9 Papa Kilo Victor, Mr. Parva, very best. Thank you much for checking in. I didn't get you. It must have been a little pileup, and digital happens that when you get into a pileup, it just kind of cancels out the station. It's not like analog where you can kind of pick up the voices between the crowd there. It's a little bit more difficult there on the digital side. So thank you for your patience, and thank you for checking in. So with that, we're going to swing down to Nova Scotia, the big metropolis of Nova Scotia. I know they got a little bit of snow out here, maybe twice the amount that anybody else has in certain places. So if you were able to dig yourself out and you'd like to check into the Maritime Fusion Net, Nova Scotia stations, now's your chance. Station de la Nouvelle-Écosse, VE1 VON, net controller standing by for Nova Scotia stations. Go ahead, please.
Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Victor Echo 1, Juliet Whiskey. Victor Echo 1, India, Quebec.
Victor Echo 1, Bravo, India, Charlie. Zulu.
Victor Echo 1, Romeo, Mike, Juliet.
X-ray.
Victor Echo 1, Golf Victor Yankee.
Victor Echo 1, Juliet, Bravo, Lima.
Victor Echo 1, Mike Yankee.
Okay, we're going to pause right there for Nova Scotia station, so we've got quite a few in the queue. And to start things off for Nova Scotia, Mr. Ron, you dug yourself out, VE1, bravo, bravo, bravo. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
VE9, VON, VE1, VPP. Well, good evening and bonsoir, Yvonne, and thank you very much for checking me in. Not much traffic here. We got -9 here so far this evening, and bound to go a little bit lower than that. Anyway, sounds like you're having a great net, and take care. 7-3, VE1, VE9, VON. This is VE1, VPP.
Hey, VE1, bravo, bravo, bravo. Very best. Good evening, Ron. Thank you. Thanks for checking in. Next on the list is Eric, VE1, Juliet Whiskey. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Yvonne, and everybody else on the net. Sounds like you got a good crowd starting so far. Yeah, we're dug out. I don't know, I measured 40 centimeters on my deck, and the local station here in Greenwood said we got 52. And out in the front yard, I think we probably did or more. Depending on where it drifted around, I think. But I was fortunate enough, my son came down with his truck and plowed out the heaviest of it. Just had to do a little bit of shoveling around the sidewalks and such. But for the most part, he plowed it. But boy, he was rolling a lot of snow coming in there. And there's a pile beside the garage, picking her up level with the roof of the garage from what he pushed off the driveway. So lots of snow around. But anyway, all we can say is, well, it's only another 6 weeks till spring, or give or take. So we'll just hope it goes by quickly and we don't get too many more of these big storms. But I guess overall it's only the third snowstorm we've had all winter. So so far we've had a pretty good winter, so I guess we shouldn't complain. But it was a big one, and hopefully everybody shoveled out, and hopefully not too many people suffered any heart attacks or any strained muscles and stuff from shoveling. So hopefully everybody survived okay. Other than that, not much else exciting in Kingston this evening. V1 JW.
Hey, V1JW, Mr. Eric Verdes, thank you much for checking in. Always a pleasure to hear you. Next on the list is Brian, Mr. Brian, VE1IQ, the smartest man on the net this evening. Good evening, Brian. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
VE1, VON, VE1IQ. Good evening, Yvonne. And, well, we're about the same area for Eric here, only about 5 or 6 kilometers apart. And, yeah, we had a lot of snow, and
They actually had to bring in a blower to get rid of it. And I guess not a whole lot new from this end. Just sitting in here, had a wood fire going here in the firebox here, and sitting back enjoying and listening to the net. VE1 India, Quebec.
Yeah, VE1 India, Quebec, VE1 VON returning. Very best, Brian. Thank you much for checking in. Yeah, you guys seem to get the snow belt lately. Like, I remember a couple of years ago, Moncton used to be the snow belt. We used to get, we didn't get all the snow, but nothing like what you guys got. But it sounds, almost feels like the snow belt like, kind of slid down there towards the northern part of Nova Scotia from the Moncton area. So, and I noticed that last couple of years, you guys seem to have more snow than we do. Although we still got some, but not nearly as much as you guys did there. Okay, so next on the list is Mr. Ron, VE1 DIC, Bravo India Charlie. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Victor Echo 1, Victor Oscar November. Good evening, Evo. And, yeah, glad for calling me in there. And, yeah, we're just getting through the digging out process after the snow the other day. I had to go up to our FM site there and top of the hill and dig out the generator, make sure it was not all snowed in. It wouldn't run properly covered with snow or anything. So it's dug out and we're all set for the next storm here. And nothing to report, just kind of kicking back, relaxing today. Did a few things around the house here and off tomorrow as well. Then back in on Friday. Anyway, have a good net there, Yvonne. Doing a good job there, and hi to all those, 7-3 to all those on frequency. VE1 VON from Victor Echo 1, Bravo India Charlie.
VE1 Bravo India Charlie, Mr. Ron. Very best. Thank you, Mr. Ron, for checking in. Next on the list is Mr. Robert, VE1 Romeo Mike Juliet. Good. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net.
VE1 VON, VE1 RMJ, good evening, and good evening everybody on frequency and monitoring the YouTube live feed there. I'm monitoring on a couple different radios, the computer, and my phone and my laptop here, so I'm hearing the net many times. Everything's sounding great. You got a really good net going on, and there's a good little chat going on too on the live stream there. So great stuff, everyone. And again, a thank you to Jim for sending out the link to people. And without his help, we wouldn't be able to get that out to people to have a look at. Anyway, I won't keep it. I know it's going to be a busy net. So 7-3 to you and everybody on frequency. VE1 RMJ.
VE1 Romeo Mike Juliet, Mr. Rob. Good evening. Thank you for checking in. And sounds like you're listening to the net in surround sound, in 3D sound. Hope all those connections are coming in at the same time. You don't want any latency there, and you're getting half the net in an ecosystem. Okay, next on the list is VE1 Romeo Papa X-Ray. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
VE1 VON, VE1 RPX, good evening, Yvonne. Good evening, everybody else on the net. Richard here in Cambridge, Annapolis Valley, Nova Scotia. Yeah, I'm just sitting here watching the live feed on YouTube. Station or channel, Rob, VE1 RMJ, if people want to search for it. And I think there'll probably be a residual after the net for people to look at. I do notice a lot of chat. And it's pretty cool to see the software up and running. So, went out for a snowshoe today, about 4 kilometers, which equals about 20 kilometers if you had clear and free going, because it was pretty deep out there. But the snow's all cleared out, and I got a chance to go out on a beautiful day and get a little bit of exercise. Say 7-3's dial and have a good week. VE1 VON, VE1 RPX.
And VE1 RPX, Romeo Papa X-Ray. Good evening. Thank you, Richard, for checking in. Next on the list is Mr. Gordon. And Gordon, when I saw your call, I thought of gravy for some reason. I had potatoes with some gravy for supper, and your call kind of resounded with my supper. VE1 Golf Victor Yankee, Mr. Gravy. Gordon, good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Wow, Yvonne, that's a pretty cool statement. Anyways, it's Gord here, Victor Echo 1, Golf Victor Yankee. I'm over here in Fall River this evening where it's been cool all day long, but you know, there's a little bit of sunshine been shining on the driveway, and a lot of the snow and some of the ice has melted. So it's been a good day for that. In fact, I managed to get the snow scraped down another couple of inches to try and get rid of some of that ice that's building up rather quickly. But anyways, I got to change your mind about that, Eva. I was thinking, you know, when a gentleman checked in there, you referred to him as grilled cheese sandwich, and now you're referring to me as gravy. Boy, I tell you, you got to eat more before you start the net. You must be starving, my friend. Anyways, just to add a little humor to the pot, when BX stations can't hear my call, I tell them my call sign is Victor Echo 1, good vibrations yesterday, and then they get it. So I can certainly see where grilled cheese sandwich makes it, but my moniker is good vibrations yesterday. And yeah, what a kick it is to be able to sit back here. I've got the radio operating in direct mode, looking at the Wires X console, and I can see my own timer, a minute 30. So I can still talk away, and I won't do that, mind you. And I can also see the chat live on my TV and on my computer. I can gab away. Wow, this is cool, boys. This is very, very connected. Anyways, thanks for calling me in, Yvonne. I'm not going to keep it any longer. Have yourself a great evening, and I hope everyone across the Maritimes is taking care and staying safe. Victor Echo 1, Victor Oscar November. This is Victor Echo 1, Golf Victor Yankee, 7-3, pal.
Echo 1 Golf Victor Yankee, Mr. Gordon. Very best, Gordon. You're at 156 kilometers from my station, so you're up there. Yeah, it's one of those things, the same thing, like you're not supposed to go do the groceries when you're hungry there. You know, eat before going to do the groceries because you're going to buy all the stuff that you're not supposed to. Okay, so next on the list is the Maritime Fusion Elmore himself, Mr. Jim, VE1 Juliet Bravo Lima. Good evening, Jim. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Good.
VE1 VON and the Maritime Fusion at VE1 JBL. Good evening, Yvonne, and all on frequency and all on the chat box. Well, this is quite interesting. I'm really enjoying this, and of course got the software up following along here, and then I've got the chat box up here also on the side, and another box, and keeping an eye on that. So great stuff, Rob. This is actually super. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this, and I think we heard that some people who are not fusion operators, and maybe there's even the odd person who's not even a ham radio operator might be listening in on this or watching this. So great stuff for sure. That's it from here, Yvonne. Have yourself a great net. Looks like you're going to have a good one there, 7-3 for now, and we'll look for your recap after the net is over. VE1 VON, the Maritime Fusion at VE1 JVL, Jim Open Tignish Bridge, Nova Scotia, 7-3.
And V1 JBL, the E1 VON returning for the Maritime Fusion Net. Very best, Jim. Too much for checking in. That's the fun part, really, when you start combining nets with other modes and so forth. Makes it a lot more interactive. So keep it up, always. It's lots of fun. Next on the list is Mr. Mike, VE1 Mike Yankee. Good evening, Mike. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
VE1, Victor Echo 1, Victor Oscar November, VE1 Mike Yankee. Not much going on down here. It was wall-to-wall sunshine all day. And not much else. It's -7, and it's getting a little cool. But anyway, not much else. Everybody stay safe. VE1 VON, VE1 MY.
And VE1MY, Mr. Mike Fairbass. Thank you much, Mike, for checking in. Always a pleasure to hear you there. And just like that, we're at the bottom of the Nova Scotia list, and we're going to swing over to PEI, Prince Edward Island, la station de l'île du Prince-Édouard. So this is Victor Echo 1, Victor Austin November. Name here is Yvonne. We're controlling the net of Dieppe, New Brunswick, and we're now standing by for PEI stations, les stations de l'île du Prince-Édouard. Go ahead, please.
Victor Yankee 2, Sierra Echo Charlie.
Hey, Victor Yankee 2, Sierra Echo Charlie, Mr. Sterling. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
VE1 VON, VY2 SEC. Good evening, Yvonne, everyone on net. Just sitting back here enjoying all this new technology. It's really something. So not a whole lot of news here tonight. Just like to say hi to everyone. Everyone take care. 7-3 from Victor Yankee 2, Sierra Echo Charlie.
Hey, Victor Yankee 2, Sierra Echo Charlie, VE1 VON returning airbus. Thank you much for checking in. And just like that, we're going to swing back to New Brunswick. Station de New Brunswick, VE1 VON, standing by for New Brunswick stations. Standing by for les stations de la province du Nouveau-Brunswick. Go ahead, please.
Victor Echo 9, Golf Charlie.
Victor Echo 1, Charlie Sierra Alpha.
Golf Lima.
Victor Echo 1, November Alpha Tango, Victor Echo 1, November Alpha Tango.
Victor Echo 9, Charlie Uniform, Bravo.
Victor Echo 9, Mike Tango, Victor.
Okay, we're going to pause there. I got you in the queue there, Mike. We're going to get things going with VE9 Golf Charlie. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, VE1 VON with the net, VE9 GC, bonsoir, Yvon, et le tout sur frequency. Courtney here in Notre Dame is chilling out here now, -10. We tried to get in on the first go round, but I got covered up by both ADV and Golf Charlie Sierra. So I just said, I'll just sit back and listen and wait until you get back to New Brunswick again, and this time we managed to get in okay. No particular traffic, nice day here, chilly but bright and sunny, and it looks like it's going to be another cool evening, so I've got a few extra logs there to throw in the fire, and I have my cat controller sitting here on my lap. Maybe that's why we got in this time. He just came in and sat on me just before we made the call. Anyway, back to you, Yvonne. It's been a pleasure to listen to Net this evening. There's an awful lot of people on. VE1 VON, VE9 GC.
Hey, V9 GC, VE1 VON returning very best. Thank you much for checking in, Gordon. You're 25 kilometers northwest of my station. Not too far away. Next on the list is Mr. Mike, Mr. Irish Town, V9 Mike Tango Victor. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, VE1 VON and the Maritime Fusion Net, VE9 MTV. Good evening, Yvonne. I, as well as Gordon there, tried to check in at the first round, but got walked on and no way to know if I got through or not. That's why I called a few times this time. Every time I like to go on my mic, there was somebody else there, so I better get in here. And bonjour tout le monde, tous les francophones sur le réseau. Bonjour à Nathalie qui s'en vient après moi. And yeah, for Gary there, GSB, I'm planning to build that antenna there probably next week there, Gary. I just finished building a dual-man J-pole all made of aluminum and delivered it to my dad in Chediac there for his trial. Try it out at his QTH in his room there. See if he can't get a better signal out there. So anyway, that's about it. Fiddling around with antennas and that, keeping busy. Other than that, a beautiful day today for sure for traveling. Just stay safe, everybody, and hopefully we'll get back to some sort of normalcy one day. Anyway, you all have a good net. Thanks for calling me in. Doing a good job there. 7-3 to all. VE1VON, VE9MTV.
Hey, VE9MTV, Mr. Mike, very best. Thanks so much for checking, Mike. And thank you for taking over some of those nets there. You're doing a great job there being a newcomer. And your voice sounds really great when you're doing the nets, so I appreciate those efforts there. Okay, so next on the list is VE1CSA, Charlie Sierra Alpha. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
VE1VON, Net Control, Maritime Fusion Net, VE1CSA. Thanks for calling us in, Yvonne. Good to hear you in there on the digital side. Doing a good job as always. Not much traffic here. It was a nice sunny day, but it was cold, so limited time outside today. Other than that, nothing new, so we'll get moving and pass it right back to you, Yvonne. VE1VON, VE1CSA, Scott, Marysville, New Brunswick.
Hey, VE1CSA, Mr. Scott, the very best. Thank you much for checking in, Scott. Coming in nice and cool, nice and strong signal, so no problem there. Next on the list is VE9 Alpha India AI. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
VE1VON Net Control, VE9AI, Gary in Fredericton, off the FNB Fredericton repeater. Not much to add here tonight, just been doing odd jobs in the house all day, haven't even been out, so too cold. Anyway, with that, we'll say good evening to one and all and pass it back to you, Yvonne, VE9AI.
And VE9AI, Mr. Gary Verves. Thank you much for checking in, Gary. Appreciate that. Next on the list is we're going swinging right back to the diagonal to Edmonton, Madame Nathalie. VE9 November Alpha Tango. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Salutations Yvon, merci d'animer le réseau, ça me fait plaisir de jaser. Hi everyone on the net tonight. C'est ça, prénom est Nathalie, puis faisait pas chaud comme les gens l'ont dit, moins 28 ce matin à Edmundston. Puis salutations aussi à Monsieur Mike. Fait que espérons qu'on aura la chance de se revoir bientôt. Fait que merci beaucoup, puis bonne fin de soirée.
V9NAT, Madame Nathalie. Verves, merci beaucoup Nathalie. C'est toujours apprécié de t'entendre sur l'air. Avec ton propre radio, je vois que tes lettres d'appel sont toutes intégrées dedans, ça fait que tu peux pas pouvoir l'utiliser. C'est bon ça. Okay, next on the list is Mr. Don in Moncton, V9CUB Cub, V9 Cub. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net, and go ahead please.
VE1, VON, and everybody on the Fusion Net here. Good evening to you, Yvonne, and everybody on net. No real traffic, just a simple check-in, say hi, and hope everybody stays safe and has a good week. So with Yvonne, I'll give it back. Yeah, Victor Echo 1, VON. This is Victor Echo 9, Charlie Uniform Bravo, on handheld 73 to all.
Hey, V9CUB, Mr. Don, your best. Thank you, Don. Thanks for checking in. And just like that, we're at the bottom of the list for New Brunswick. So we did 2 go-arounds for everyone. So let's just take a little break and give a chance to any stations outside of the maritime bubble. Station à l'extérieur des maritimes. So if you're a station not part of New Brunswick, PI, or Nova Scotia, and you'd like to check in, now's your chance. Donc, les stations à l'extérieur des maritimes, New Brunswick, Nouvelle-Écosse et du l'île du Prince-Édouard. Voici votre chance à check-in sur le réseau. V1 VON, à l'écoute. VE1 VON, standing by for out of maritime stations. Go ahead, please. Okay, so with that, we're going to swing back down south. The Florida of the Maritimes, that has like half a meters of snow. Nova Scotia. Station de la Nouvelle-Écosse, VE1 VON, standing by for Nova Scotia stations. Go ahead, please.
For Alpha 1, Charlie.
Victor Echo 1, Zulu Bravo. Victor Echo 1, Whiskey X-Ray.
Victor Echo 1, Hotel Uniform Mike.
Victor Echo 1, Papa Sierra, VE1 PS. And I also heard or saw, VE1 MM on the display in the middle of that pileup.
I'm just making sure.
Alpha 1, Bravo, India Lima.
Okay, we're going to pause there for Nova Scotia Station. I got quite a few in the queue, and I think I got a couple that swing on the side there that I may not have heard you, but saw you. That's a great thing with digital. We can see you without hearing you. Okay, so the first on the list on this round is Victor Alpha 1, Charlie. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net, and go ahead, please.
Oh, very good, Yvonne. Thank you for having me on the net tonight. I want to give thanks to Jim, JBL, and to Rob, CSE, for sending out an email to me. This is first time on Fusion, first time on UHF, or digital as well. I want to say hello to everybody and thank you for having the Fusion Net. Name's Brian. We're here in Bedford, Nova Scotia, where the temperature's cool -4. And not a whole lot of snow. The sun was strong today, guys. There's hope. There's hope. Won't tie it up. Thank you very much. First time, as I said, and look forward to running across all you folks again. We'll say 7-3 to everybody on frequency. This is VA1CC with VE9 VON. Go ahead, Yvonne.
Hey, VA1 Charlie, good evening. Thank you for checking in, and welcome to the Fusion system. I'm sure you'll have as much fun as we have, and hope you have a chance there to follow. We're live streaming at the same time there, so there's a lot of stuff going on, and we seem to be adding something new there every couple of months there, so just to add to more fun. Okay, so with that, next on the list is Mr. Mike, VE1 Zulu Bravo. Good evening, Mike. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
VE1 VON, VE1 Zulu Bravo. Hello, Monsieur Yvon. Nice day here in Oxford. We've got, around my yard, in excess of 40 centimeters, I'd say. The driveway got a whole lot smaller. And I spent the day in the garage underneath one of my trucks. I think I picked up a bit of a chill. I've got a cough or something here tonight, so
I can't think of anything else to report. Been listening along pretty much since it started up, so I'll say bonsoir. VE1, VON, VE1 Zulu Bravo.
And V1 Zulu Bravo, Mr. Mike Verbest, thank you much for checking in, Mike. You're at 71 kilometers from my destination, so you're coming in nice and cloud. Okay, next on the list is VE1 Whiskey X-Ray. Mr. WX, good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
VE1VON, good evening, Yvonne, and good evening to all on the network tonight. Minus 7 degrees here in Kentville, and just want to welcome Brian, VA1 Charlie to Fusion. Good to hear you, sir, and have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of the net there as well. And just having a great time following along here on YouTube. No further traffic, Yvonne. We had a pretty good day. Just a little bit of snowshoeing and had coffee with a good friend of mine here in the local club. So we'll turn it back to net control. VE1 VON from VE1 Whiskey X-Ray. Derek in Kentville.
V1 Whiskey X-Ray, VE1 VON returning Verbest. Thank you very much for checking in. Next on the list is Victor Echo 1 Hotel Uniform Mike, HUM. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, VE1 VON. Thank you for calling me in. Just driving through downtown Wolfville on minus 6 degrees. Oh, minus 5. Oh, it's warming up. Somebody said there's hope. Just thought I'd check in, and don't get an opportunity very often, working my brain off doing my occupational health and safety course. So I get, when I need to take a break with the radio. All right, so everybody have a good evening, and thanks again, VE1 VON, VE1 HUM.
And V1 Hotel Uniform Mike, good evening. Thank you for checking in, and enjoy your break, and enjoy your training as well. Sounds like an interesting course. Okay, next on the list is Peter, VE1 Papa Sierra. Good evening, Peter. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
VE1 VON and the group V1PS, good evening. Just been listening along here as the net's proceeded. Good to hear everybody out, and hope everybody's enjoying winter that's finally arrived. Hi. And for VE1 HUM there, I was a safety programs manager with Air Canada, and funny, so nobody ever liked the idea of safety being addressed by nobody works, nobody gets hurt. But anyway, so with that net control, I will turn it back to you. Well done on another excellent net. VE1 VON, V1 PS, back to you.
Hey, V1 Papa Sierra, VE1 VON returning Verbest, Peter. Thank you much for checking in. And now, next on the list, I think I might have seen him and not heard him, or I might need more food, but it's VE1 M&M's, Mike. Are you on the Fusion Net this evening, and would you like to check in? Go ahead, please.
VON, Yvonne, and the CQ Maritimes room and the net. I just wanted to say good evening. I doubled in, I think, with somebody on the first round and missed it, but I enjoy listening to the net anyway, so I don't mind hanging around. Anyway, my name is Kelly, Kilo Echo Lima Lima Yankee, and I am in Greenwood. VE1MM.
And VE1MM, Kelly from Greenwood. I spent lots of time in Greenwood in my cadet days. It's a big central hub there for air cadets. And I spent many years there on the Greenwood base, even way back when we used to sleep in the hangars. Those were the fun days, getting woken up early in the morning by this PSN system inside an aircraft hangar, and you had all the birds flying on top of you there, so trying to duck them. Oh, that was a while back. Thank you for that memory lane there, Kelly. Okay, so VE1 Charlie Foxtrot Yankee, you're next. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Yankee. If you want to check into the net, now's your chance. VE1UN for the Maritime Fusion net. Go ahead.
Victor Yankee 2, Golf Foxtrot.
And Victor Yankee 2 Golf Foxtrot. Go ahead, George. Welcome.
Yvonne, this is my third try, and heavens, I don't know what's going on, but you're doing a fabulous job. Anyway, a little chilly here, but I guess better days are ahead, so hope everybody has a good week, and we'll certainly look forward to the net next Wednesday. Victor Yankee 2 Golf Foxtrot.
Hey, Victor Yankee 2 Golf Foxtrot. Roger. Thank you, George. Thanks for checking in. And it's not too long there, the weather will cooperate and you can start your lighthouse on the air again. Not quite sure you want to do that in these last few weeks. It would be a tad bit cold in some of those lighthouses. Always an enjoyment there to see you guys at the lighthouse between you and Bernie there. Keep up the good work there. Okay, George, nice to hear you. Next on the list is VA1B Bravo India Lima. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Yvonne, and good evening to everybody on the Maritime Fusion Net. Had a nice day today. Went for a couple nice long walks with my dog out in the cold, and I didn't mind it one bit. I guess that's what happens to you when you live in Winnipeg for 14 years. It kind of toughens you up. Anyway, I really don't have much else to add tonight. Thanks for doing the net, Yvonne. VA1BIL clear.
Hey, VA1BIL, VA1 Dreaming returning very best, Bill. Thank you much. And hope you're enjoying the immigration to the Maritimes there. I'm sure we'll reach some of the cold there that out west is having. Maybe not. It was like minus 50, I think, last couple of days over there. Or a little bit cold, too cold for me. And I think we broke a record, minus 60 or like 60 or something like that in Northwest Territories there. So they're under a polar vortex in that corner of the woods. I bet you're happy you migrated to the Maritimes there. Okay, so with that, we're done with the Nova Scotia stations for a little bit. We're going to swing back to see if there's any lingering station from some PEI, sorry. Station de l'île du Prince-Édouard. So if you're stationed from PEI or you'd like to check in, now's your chance. Station de l'île du Prince-Édouard. Net control is Victor Echo 1, Victor Oscar November, name here is Yvonne. We're controlling the net at Dieppe. And we're all now listening for stations from PEI. Station de la Nouvelle-Écosse. Go ahead, please. Okay, it's going to swing to New Brunswick. New Brunswick station. Station de New Brunswick. VE1 VON standing by for New Brunswick stations. Go ahead, please.
E9 Romeo Delta Juliet. Victor Echo 9, Charlie Golf Lima. Victor Echo 9, Charlie Golf Lima.
Victor Echo 9, Mike Alpha Oscar, VE9, MAO.
VE9 Bravo Oscar Foxtrot.
9 JCD, Charlie Tango. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, salutations à toi, monsieur. Bonne soirée à toi, monsieur Yvon, and bonne soirée à tous les francophones qui sont sur le réseau. Very good evening to all on the Fusion Net. I forgot last week, but got a reminder from Jim, and that's useful for me. We have a whole bunch of nets going on, and that's great. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And nice sunny day today. Bit on the cool side, but I went biking this morning. Well, I usually go in the morning, but today I went a little bit later. I went about at about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Yeah, it was a bit this morning. I think it was minus 14, so it wasn't as cold in the middle of the day. So yeah, I did 22.6 kilometers according to Strava's GPS system. So 22 kilometers, more than that. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that, and not much besides that. Nice to hear everyone from everywhere, and again, 7-3 to all listening, and I'll turn it back to you, Monsieur Yvan. Victor Echo 9, Juliet Charlie Tango, 7-3 to all from Shediac, New Brunswick.
Hey, V9 Juliet Charlie Tango, good evening, thank you for checking in. It was a pleasure to hear you there. Next station on the list is, I caught some letters, but I didn't see you on the screen. So I don't know if you had your calls hooked up to your digital or not. It was VE9, Romeo Delta, and I think maybe Juliet. I didn't get the last call. There was an overlap. So if your call starts with Romeo Delta, if you want to check into the Maritime Net, Fusion Net, now's your chance. Go ahead, please.
V1 VON, V9 Romeo Delta Juliet. Name here is Remy. Good evening to you and good evening to everyone. Yvon, c'est un bon bout que je t'ai pas parlé. Je sais pas si tu te souviens bien de moi.
Hey, V9 Romeo Delta Juliet, Mr. Remy. Yes, I remember you. I don't know if you cut out there, if you want to say that again. You're coming in at 200 kilometers from my station, Remy. Long time no chat. Wow. If you want to come back there, I think you just got cut out of the system there for a second there. If you want to recheck in there, go ahead.
Il n'y a pas de problème, oui. Non, c'est ça. Ici, je reste off-grid à Sormony, dans le bout de Sormony, présentement, à mon chalet. Là. Ça fait que c'est la première fois que je me présente sur le Fusion Net. Ça fait que je voudrais dire une bonne soirée, soins 13 à tous les amateurs en fréquence. V1 VON pour le Maritime Fusion Net de Victor Echo 9, Romeo Delta Juliet 703 to all.
Romeo Delta Juliet, Monsieur Remy, you're rentré très bien. You came in just nice there. Thank you for your patience, and wow, nice to chat with you and say hi to the gang in the northern part of New Brunswick there. Haven't seen you guys in a long, long time. We'll have to make a special trip there and do a gathering when we're allowed to. One of those Burger King things. I don't know if you used to hang out at Burger King there on Saturday mornings. That's where we used to all hang out in Bathurst area. Okay, Remy, thank you. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. I hope you're enjoying it just as much as we are. So next on the list is VE9 Charlie Golf Lima. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Yes, VE1 VON. This is Victor Echo 9 Charlie Golf Lima. My name is Germain, here in St. Andre, next to Grand Falls. I just want to say hi to everybody. Stay safe out there. Thanks for making the net, Yvon. After my third attempt there, I finally got in. So you're going to have another name. 7-3 all around from Charlie VE9 Charlie Golf Lima.
Hey, V9 Charlie Golf Lima, VE1 VON. Thank you for your patience there. And that's the thing with digital, when there's overlaps, you get wiped out almost completely. It's not like analog there. So you might have to try again. And also there's some delays, because it's voice over IP between the internet system, because it's all linked through the internet. So there's a 1 second delay sometime, and that's enough to get yourself cut off there. So I thank you for your patience. Appreciate that. So we're up to 43 stations again. We broke the 40 mark, so we're doing pretty darn good with this net. Next on the list is V9 Mike Alpha Oscar. Mr. Mach, good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Yvon, V1 VON, V9 MAO, Mark here in Grand Falls. I'm actually watching it on the screen as we speak, and I knew that I had finally gotten through because my name popped up on the screen, so I stopped trying. And I appreciate everyone's patience with this system, but it's a beautiful thing. I really enjoy this fusion and hope that I get to practice it even more. I've had the radio for almost a year, and maybe I should program it because right now I've only got one frequency on, and it's this one. So anyway, it's the only one I use so far. Hi. So bonne soirée à tous et à tous. Merci Yvon pour faire la net. Puis je souhaite bon 73 à tout le monde. 73 to all from beautiful Grand Falls, New Brunswick.
V9 Mike Alpha Oscar, Mr. Mach from Grand Falls, New Brunswick, 260 kilometers from my station on the diagonal. Thank you, and welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Always a pleasure to have new people on the list there that are popping up as new people. So that's a good thing. That means it's you're new to the net, and we like that. Like I said, we booked 43, so we're doing not too bad. Okay, so with that, we're going to swing down to Nova Scotia again. Station de la Nouvelle-Écosse, VE1 VON, standing by for Nova Scotia stations. Station de la Nouvelle-Écosse. Go ahead, please.
Victor, Echo 1, Charlie, Sierra, Echo.
Yeah, Victor Echo 1, Charlie, Sierra, Echo. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
V1 VON, V1 CSE, good evening to you on all-line frequency, transmitting through VE1 AEH repeater from behind the Walmart here in the minus. Temperature currently is -6, feels like -11. We have some northeast winds hitting us just slightly at about 14 kilometers an hour gusts. And barometric pressure 101.68, holding steady, so that's good. So let's hope that we're able to get some of this snow melted over the next couple of days. I see that Friday we're going to be back into the snow season again. Well, 73 to you and to all on frequency, as well as all my fellow Maritimers. Glad to hear you all on board, and we look forward to the next net. VE1 VON, VE1 CSE.
And V1 CSE, Mr. Rob, very best. Thank you for checking in. Pleasure to hear you there. So now that the stations are dwindling, we'll try and make it more simple. Any stations anywhere, so you don't have to be in a particular province. So any stations anywhere that you'd like to check into the Maritime Fusion Net, now's your chance. VE1 VON, standing by.
Victor Echo 9, Mike Tango Victor, recheck.
01, Quebec Delta.
Victor Echo 9, Bro, Oscar Foxtrot.
Go with Mr. Mike for his recheck. V9 Mike Tango Victor. Good evening, Mike. Go ahead for your recheck.
Yeah, VE1 VON, V9 MTV. Just wanted to highlight that I'm seeing on the YouTube channel there's a repeater in Winnipeg that's hooked up to our room. It's Victor Alpha 4 Alpha Romeo Tango, and the call sign of the fellow is Victor Echo 9 Romeo November Papa from Winnipeg. I don't know if he's checked in or if he's just listening or just thought I'd mention that, Yvonne, just in case he wants to check in there. Back to you. Have a good night. VE9, VE1, VON, VE9 MTV.
TV, Mr. Mike Verdes, thank you much for the heads up. Appreciate that. We'll give him a chance to check in there in a few seconds. So next on is VE1 Quebec Delta. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Victor Echo 1, Victor Oscar November, Victor Echo 1, Quebec Delta. Very good, Yvonne. I was wondering whether my rig was working or not. I've tried so many times, and it didn't get through. I'm actually, I'm in Hackett Cove, Nova Scotia. The handle here is Scott. And I just put on the air an FTM 300DR today. So you had me a little worried that I wasn't even getting out. Anyway, hello to all on frequency. I was very glad to hear Brian, VA1CC, getting on again because I passed an FTM 7250 to him today. So he is on as well. Anyway, thank you for checking me in. I appreciate it. And 73 to all on frequency. Victor Echo 1, Victor Oscar November, Victor Echo 1, Quebec Delta.
Delta, VE1, VE1 returning. Very best, Scott. Thank you much for checking in. Next on the list is VE9 Bravo Oscar Foxtrot, BOF. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
VE1 VON, VE9 Bravo Oscar Foxtrot. Good evening, Yvonne. And we don't have too much to add tonight. Nice day we had in Memricook here today, and the sun was nice and bright and a little hard in the eyes outside when you're outside, but other than that, it was a pretty good day. So we'll see 73s and VE9 Bravo Oscar Foxtrot will be clear.
And VE9 Bravo Oscar Foxtrot, Mr. Bob from Memricook. Good evening. Thank you for checking in. I appreciate your patience. Yeah, that's the thing. We need to get used to this linking system because we're dependent on the internet. So there's a little, sometimes just a second of delay, and then when you add the multiple nodes and so forth, it's creating some a few delays. So if you didn't get in right away, that's probably the reason why. And I appreciate that you're continuing your efforts there to continue it in, and you did. A plus for everyone. Okay, so with that, we're at the bottom of that list. We're going to go any stations anywhere. VE1 VUN is net controller. And we're just going to keep it that way since we're only getting a couple stations per call. So any stations anywhere that would like into Maritime Fusion Net, now's your chance. VE1 VUN, net controller, standing by.
Victor Echo 1, Delta Echo Sierra Portable.
And portable station VE1 Delta Echo Sierra, I believe. Go ahead for the Maritime Fusion Net.
I think it's Victor Echo 1 VON, I believe. It's V1 Delta Echo Sierra. Name is Dawn, Delta Oscar November, in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. I tried on the first bunch of Nova Scotia stations, but I only have an inside antenna, so didn't have quite the power to get out and get on board, so I thought I'd wait until everything settled down. Back to net control, V1 DES.
And V1 DES, Mr. Don, you're doing a fine job with a portable station, my friend. No problem there. I'm coming in like a ton of bricks. So thank you for checking in. Reaching out. Okay, so any stations anywhere, VE1 VUN, standing by for the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please. Okay, so we don't want to hold the net too long. It's past the hour by quite a bit. So we're going to call last call for the Maritime Fusion Net. Any stations anywhere, VE1 VUN for last call for the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please. Victor Echo 1, Charlie Delta. Hey, Victor Echo 1, Charlie Delta. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please. V1, V1, and Fusion Net. V1 CD, very good evening, well, and all those on frequency. And just got home a while ago from work and got the fire going here. Soaking in some of the heat. Anyway, we're all 673. Hope everyone has a good rest of the week here. V1 VOM in the Maritime Fusion Net, V1 CD. Contact 1 VOM returning, Fusion Net, any stations anywhere. VE1 VON, standing by.
VE1 PYE.
Even to you and I do family. Victor Echo 1, Delta Echo Sierra. Thanks, Net Control.
Okay, so I got Kilo Echo Victor and V1 PYE, I believe, was another station. Go ahead, what you call? Okay, we're going to get things going with VE1 Kilo Echo Victor. Good evening. Welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
VE1 VON for the Wednesday night Fusion Net. V1 Kilo Echo Victor. Very good, Yvonne, and good evening there, and good evening to all on the net there tonight. Anyway, we're just getting back from our neighbor's place there, or whatever. He's having a time or whatever. So anyway, we thought we'd better jump in here while we get a chance. Anyway, not a whole lot here to report. It was a beautiful day today. We were in the Moncton area and stuff, and a little cool start, but certainly warmed up considerably. Anyway, that's it from here. Thank you for calling me in. Thanks, 73, and have a great evening there. V1 VON, V1 KEV, 73.
V1 KEV, V1 VON returning your very best. Thank you much for checking in. Next station is VE1 PYE, I believe. If that's your call or close to it, welcome to the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good evening there, Yvonne, and everybody on the net there this evening. Jay name here is Jason. I've been on the net a few times, but it's been a while. It's been quite a while, actually, since we tried to check in. So just heard you doing the last call there. Thought we'd jump on and say good evening to everybody on the net here this evening. So I'll put it back to you, VE1 VON, VE1 PYE.
VE1 PYE, Mr. Jason. Well, you know, thank you much, man. You just broke the pot. You broke my 50. So at the 50 mark, just because of you, because you took a chance to check in when you haven't been for a while. So I appreciate that. You're my number 50. Thank you for that, Jason. Appreciate it. Okay, any stations anywhere? E1 VON, standing by. Okay, I think that's it. I think we got everybody. So this is the end of the Maritime Fusion Net. If you didn't get a chance to check in this evening for some reason or another, you'll have another chance next Wednesday. So there were 50 check-ins this evening. We would like to thank the amateur radios operators for checking in tonight. We also want to thank the owners of all the repeaters and nodes there that linked in tonight for helping us expand the area for the local AM check-ins. It's because of them that we were this successful. Il y avait 50 stations sur le réseau ce soir. On aimerait remercier tous les amateurs qui nous ont participé au réseau ce soir. On aimerait aussi également remercier les propriétaires de répéteurs et des nodes, stations digitales personnelles, qui se sont joints au réseau pour permettre une plus grande couverture du territoire, pour nous permettre à plus de stations à nous rejoindre. A recap of the net will be sent out to all members via email. For more information about the Maritime Fusion Net, go to the Moncton Area Amateur Radio website at www.maarc.ca and click on Club Activities and Nets. Un courrier rendu du réseau de ce soir sera envoyé à tous les membres via courrier. Pour plus d'informations sur le réseau Fusion Maritime, allez au site web du Club de Moncton, Moncton Area Amateur Radio Club, site web du www.marc.ca et appuyez sur la touche Club Activité Net. Et l'information du réseau seront disponibles à cet endroit. Now the net has concluded, the repeater is now open for January use. This is VE1VUN signing off as Jet Controller. Good evening, good night all. Please be safe and respect all the regulations around COVID. We want to get rid of this sooner than later, so it's only by participating with the rules that we will be able to do that. Vaccination is just around the corner, so please be patient. Maintenant que le réseau est terminé, les répéteurs sont ouverts pour usage général. Ceci est V1VUN. Terminé. Soyez prêts à tout le monde, s'il vous plaît. Suivi les règlements du COVID-19. Les vaccinations sont prochaines, sont pas trop loin. Donc, patientez et on verra une fin à cette pandémie. In the meantime, enjoy the network, and we're returning the repeaters and nodes for general use. Thank you, everyone. 73s. Merci tout le monde. 73. VE1VUN signing off, and we'll talk to you next time. VE1VUN out.
Victor Echo 9, Papa India November, with a message of general interest. Not to forget the net at 9 o'clock, the CQ Canada net, CQ Canada net there at 9 o'clock, and for the net controllers or repeaters controller, if you can change to that CQ Canada room at 9 o'clock tonight. 7312.
Bird, is that 10 o'clock our time?
Sorry, my mistake. 9 o'clock is the French fusion that got 10 o'clock there tonight for the it's CQ Canada at Victor Echo 1 Alpha Oscar. It's room 40678 for the CQ Canada net at 10 o'clock. Sorry for my mistake.
Okay, very good, Bert. No problem at all. And Yvonne, good net. Thanks very much for taking the control tonight. 7-3.